All right, let's finish up this section with solving equations and inequalities with absolute value. So we're going to look at absolute value bars. So it says for a is greater than 0, an algebraic expression x, the absolute value is going to be a, and says is equivalent to x equals negative a or x equals a. So if I have something like the absolute value of 5, that means x is negative 5 or 5. So I have two solutions. And to check, note that negative 5 and 5 are both 5 units from 0, from the number line. So when we try to solve something like an equation, it says first add 1 to both sides to get the expression in this form. We want the absolute value by itself. And now from here, I do x minus 3 equals negative 5 or x minus 3 equals positive 5. And that's what I'm going to solve as my possible solutions. This is one that you do need to go and check our solutions. So if I check the negative 2, looks like that works. And then I check the 8. And looks like that works. So this is another one, as I mentioned in some of these past videos, that you need to take the time to check that the solutions work. All right, so when a equals 0 and our absolute value equals a is equivalent to x equals 0, then this means we have something called the empty set, that there's no solution. If we have, once again here, now looking at inequalities, if we're doing the absolute value of inequality, just as we did with the equal, we did the positive and the negative. Well, we do it here with an actual inequality. If it's less than, x falls in between. If it's greater than, then you do x is less than the negative and x is greater than the positive. So for example, if I have the absolute value of x is less than 3, this is equivalent to how we'd write this out. Greater than or equal to, this is the or with the negative less than or equal to. And then even if I have an expression here, I can write the expression out with the negative 4 and positive 4. So you will see even when you solve these and to be able to graph them, so you kind of go through the same solving techniques that you solved with inequalities. Okay, but your first setup is set this to negative 5 and 5. Remember, you isolate the x in the middle, so added 2 to each piece, and then divided each piece by 3 to get my solution. And you can see how this was graphed, just like we graphed the inequalities. Be careful. Remember, if you have the or, just bring all this up so you can see it. The absolute value of a greater than or equal to, that means I have the less than or equal to negative 1, or the greater than or equal to 1. I solve both sides, but remember how we graph an or is the solution is greater than or equal to 3. Did you see what happened there? We divided by a negative value. Remember that with the inequalities? And so these inequalities flipped, and see how to graph.